Hey people, it's been a few days. You know, that happens sometimes. I just won't feel like making a video. It's Mother's Day, so I wanted to just kind of actually acknowledge that. Say Mother's Day. Sporting the Jeff Decker. I've been telling you about the guy who died recently. Jeff Decker's Army. We played the RAF. We played a tribute show for him last night, a memorial show and fundraiser for the family. There was two of them, one Wednesday and then we played last night, helping raise money for funeral expenses. Jeff's a great guy. Sporting my t-shirt. I have some records and a DVD that have been sent to me to review. I can't do them yet because I really haven't. I've been extremely busy this week. So this is coming up, a Grip Weeds review and a Nick Prohl review. My initial impression of both is good. Oh, someone else actually. Keith Marquise sent me. I need to listen to this stuff. He also sent me an Alan Holdsworth CD. Thank you folks if you happen to see this, but I've been busy. I got the nearly finished rough cut of this film Life After X that I've done the soundtrack for. Actually wrapped that work up. The movie is using a lot of my music, and so we're going to be putting out a soundtrack disc. There is a bit of an overlap. There is some stuff that I released on Soundwaves that is being used in this movie, but that's coming. Another release on CD. I was talking to the director about that, you know, whereas we both love vinyl, and I would really like to have a new album out. It's just too expensive right now, you know. We're cumulatively, the people I'm working with are too poor to pull it off. But I want to say happy Mother's Day and just acknowledge that my mom was a big inspiration to me in a lot of ways, value-wise and music-wise. Both my parents were musicians, but my mom became really sick and ended up with had a brain hemorrhage. She lost her hearing. She ended up with lupus. But interestingly, when my mom lost her hearing, a lot of people thought it was mental and that it wasn't real, that she could actually hear and that she was pretending. So that was a rather strange way to live, to grow up. You know, from my experience as a child, know that she couldn't hear because we would play tricks on her. You know what I'm saying? Some people would be so mean about it in the neighborhood. You know how people can be. That they, you know, some people actually got us to doubt our own mom. And so we would play tricks on her and try to see, can she really hear us? She couldn't hear a damn thing. She loved music though, and that haunted me as a person up until recently. I just thought to myself, as much as I love music, I'm going to lose my hearing like my mom, you know. You know, I can still hear, but that reality may indeed have something to do with why music and hearing and listening is so important to me and why I value it so much. I know my mother loved music, and she went to a music conservatory, one of the first black women to go to Oberlin College, possibly. I think I've got it right. My mom also, have you heard of the famous singer Marian Anderson from history? This is history now. Famous black singer Marian Anderson, primarily gospel. Apparently my mom sang a duet with her somewhere, something important. And my mom made a record, but I've never been able to find out the record. It's some kind of gospel record she participated on. But I want to acknowledge mothers and my mom, you know, and how much I love her. And she's still present in my life. She's been gone for a long time. My mom passed away in like 1986. But mothers are important, and what would we do without the two partners going together, the male and the female? I had a really nice conversation with friends yesterday. The guys from Chemicals were over. Some of the guys were over from Chemicals, and we were hanging out talking about what we're going to do next. And they're young, and so we talk about this stuff, you know. And Cubby's only 19, and he's saying, you know, yeah, I think I thought maybe for a minute I would just want to be footloose and fancy free, but I'd like a partner. And we were talking about that, how, you know, even though I'm single, I fully recognize that were I up to the challenge of a good relationship, a woman would make my life would make my life better, help me to be a better person, vice versa. You know, and one of the things that I recognize in relationships, this is my perspective, I don't know that it's right, but it seems right, that in a good working relationship, the man and the woman really need to be free to exercise their will to a great degree. There's a lot of things, I think, by nature that a woman has to be able to do and have in order for successful relationships to happen. Some of those things, you know, I find myself unwilling to do, you know, being rather self-centered. But I recognize that a good partnership, that's part of it. A woman needs certain things. We're not talking about trivial desires. We're talking about things that have to be done, that because of biology, you know, women know these things have to be done. We got to keep our shit together, you know. So happy Mother's Day to all mothers. And that's really what I want to say. Is I'm not going to show any records. Well, I just showed what I'm going to be reviewing. But I want to say happy Mother's Day to all.